right, we are here, ladies and gentlemen. Test, test, toast, toast. Test, test, toast, toast. I hate that they have changed the format of this stuff. This is so stupid. They have moved all the share stuff and everything else up here to the top right, and it is dumb as hell. Copy link. Close. Dumb as hell. So we're going to wait until a few people come in before I actually start and everything else. And thank God this actually looks good on YouTube, because it looks like crap on the back end. I don't know what it is, folks. I probably need a new computer or something. But on my end, I have this, every camera I've ever had with this computer, the back end of it looks like a Constructicon hit it. It's green and purple. And not the green and purple you would think that it would look cool. It's weird as hell. Anyway, I am TFG1Mike, and we are not getting started until some people trickle in here. Hopefully some people will trickle in. I know I started 6 minutes late. Oh, crud. There goes my Facebook. I gotta actually turn my phone volume down, because I'm actually going to also turn all of my Ring off, which means my notifications are off. I'm turning my alarm volume off, because I should not have any alarms set. I have to get over to my... Oh, I'm on my profile. Mike, you're a dummy. You're a dumb one, Mr. Mike. There it is. Okay, that's that. All right, here we go. What's the name of this video? I don't even know the name of my own video, folks. All right. And the reason why I'm kind of delaying this, folks, is, like I said, I'm waiting on people to show up. I got to actually go out here and promote the video and all that good stuff. Come hang out and remember. Always make your... Oh, my hat keeps hitting the microphone. Sorry, folks. Make your great escape to comics. There we go. All right. Just doing promotions, folks. Sorry if I'm not paying attention to chat and all that good stuff right away. All right. I shared that to my own messenger thing, and on Facebook on my phone, when I'm in my own profile on Facebook on my phone, to bring up a certain thing. And then I realize, oh, wait. Anyway, hope everyone's doing well tonight. I'm doing all right. Come on, come on. There we go, there we go. Just doing the promotions, just doing the promotions. GeekCast Radio Network. What was that? Was a stupid vibration. You ever heard of good vibrations, folks? Stupid vibrations from your phone. Stupid vibrations. Okay, that's too many spaces between that. I don't like that. So there's that. There's that. Post. Oy vey. Which means that these tabs are useless. These tabs are inconsequential. Ay boy. Okay, well. What can I make these tabs into? I don't know. Not the tabs I had them as, so they're just going to be blank tabs now. Okay, so over to Blue Sky to promote. Just going to do a blanket. I'm not going to add anything to that. See what that gets me. Twitter, we can spice it up a little on Twitter, I think. It ain't that much of spice, folks. I'm just using the old handles. The old handles. I don't even have access to that handle anymore. Wish I still did, but it is what it is. Yeah. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. All right. The Twitter promotions, that promotion, that promotion, and that promotion are all done. Oh, boy. Okay, there's that there. There's this here. Yes, I know this is boring, folks. I promise it'll get. That's the wrong thread for that. Always got to make sure you're in the right Discord thread. Heaven forbid you put self-promotions in the wrong damn thread on Discord. Oh my god, you did it in the wrong place. Oh my god. Okay, did I do it over here already? Yep. Okay, did I do it there? Yep, did it there. Where else? I feel like I'm just talking to myself when I promote it in Discord. But Since it's the 13th anniversary of the podcast, I figured, what the hell? Okay, so let's see. Where are we going to begin here? I'm going to begin like it's a podcast. I mean, it is a podcast, but I'm going to put all that on so we don't have to worry about that. So, all this back matter, folks, all this early part of this stuff, all of that, because the last 11 minutes isn't going to mean a dang thing. Unfortunately, since nobody's shown up yet, I was giving people time to show up. What I'm doing here with this specific live stream is I'm also recording the audio separately with Audacity, because this is going to be episode 580 of the Pull Bag. That's right, folks. You are here on a live recording of the Pull Bag. I'm, of course, TFG1Mike from the GeekCast radio network. You are here live with me, and unfortunately, the Pull Bag listeners don't get to see all this junk that the video viewers are going to be seeing. How about a Cybertronic Spree patch? A Cybertronic Spree Ravage booklet. So there's that. This came in the mail the other day, so I got to watch this. Love this series with Christian Slater. Can't believe this complete series is only 2 discs. That was crazy. My favorite film from 1993, and no, it's not Jurassic Park. Airborne. So there's that. And then we get into the comics, in which begins my journey. Oh, wait, I got to go back over here to Facebook, because it is the Pull Bag, and I need to get this back. Come in, go back, scroll. You ever just realize, folks, that half your time online is just scrolling the doom scroll of life? All right, so comics, folks. The only physical comic books I could find in my closet, unfortunately, because I don't like all this stuff back here, all this, it's Funko Pops, it's toys, it's all that stuff. It's not actual things. It's not books, it's not DVDs, it's action figure in action figures technically. But anyway, all the stuff that the people on camera can see, it's toys. But all of the comic books that I could find that are in my closet, I wanted to find other ones that I know I have, like the Radiant Black issue number 10, which was the Blacklight issue, the first Blacklight issue that Radiant Black ever did. I actually, in the process of pulling out these comics that you'll see here in a minute, I found my Radiant Black box. When they originally did the Radiant Black box, I could have brought out the Radiant Black bath bomb that they originally did. Not doing that, but I do still have my Radiant Black Radiant Black box from when they did that. But so yeah, the the comics that I found that I pulled out, the double size issue 1 and 2 that they originally put out for Go Beyond the Gotham DC Black Label Batman Beyond the White Knight. This is the showcase edition number 1. I forgot, this is issues 1 and 2 of Batman Beyond the White Knight. Because I kept looking for issue 2. I'm like, where is issue 2? Where is issue 2? Why am I missing? It's both issue 1 and 2 in this one issue. I forgot about that. That is so freaking cool to me. I love Sean Gordon Murphy's Beyond his White Knight universe. Love that stuff. Absolutely love it. We've covered it on the pull bag before. It's in past episodes. I'm trying to think. Come on, brain work. I want to say it's, what episode number is that without me having to look it up on the schedule? I want to say it's episodes 317 and 318 of the pull bag. I could be wrong. I'm most likely wrong in that. But I have never gotten to cover Beyond the White Knight yet. I don't think I ever started this. I'm pretty sure I haven't. So, gotta cover this at some point. So, we got the first 2 issues in this showcase edition. And then I thought I'm going to have to look inside here because I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if I got like spoofed or something. Because like I didn't realize this was a regular cover or what, but when I walked into my local comic shop here in town, when I walked into the Danger Room here in Anderson, Indiana, and they gave me the Batgirl cover, I was like, okay, I'm in love. Look at this, folks. This is just amazing. Just amazing. Absolutely love this. This is one of the best covers ever. So, yeah, absolutely love it. And then the other comics I was able to pull out of the closet at the time, I think there were more of these. I could be wrong, but my buddy Ryan Drost, he's doing a new one. I think they just finished up, but Stealth Hammer, my buddy Ryan Drost did this series called Stealth Hammer. So I have his first 2 issues. So I got that for this one. And I have the second issue here for this one. And there's a bunch of postcards and stuff in the back for both of these, actually. If I can turn around. Both of them have postcards in the back. So absolutely love that. I believe we covered the first series on the podcast. Obviously, he's doing the second series now. And then we have Livia Remendelli's Pencil to Color. So this is Livia Remendelli's Pencil to Color, and this is all of his covers. This is showing you how he makes his covers for his Transformers and I believe his other stuff, his creator-owned stuff. Sorry, Livia, I'm blanking on the title at the time. And of course, everybody in here is like, or everybody watching this after the fact of this not being a live video anymore. Mike, you moron, just take it out of the thing. Of course, that's what I would do. Is it mostly his Transformers stuff? What is the name of his? Oh, God, I'm so sorry, Livio. Yeah, it's pretty much his Transformers work. Pencil to Color. But why can't I think of his creator-owned stuff? But yes, it is very much his Oh, I love that series. Why can't I think of it? We covered it. Hahi Prime and I covered it on the podcast. Watch, I bet you I can remember the dang and yes, I know this bag is the board's fine, the bag is failing. Why can't I think of the dang, I don't know. Anyway. And then my buddy Tony Wolf, good old Tony Wolf, Green Point of View, and other stories, memoir, Tales from the Wolf. I've got his book. So those are the actual comic books that I have physical copies of currently. I do more digital comics. I have so many Comixology. And yes, I still call it Comixology, even though it's called Kindle Comics now. But anyway, the pull bag, March 5th, 2013. Now, the pull bag actually has going back almost a year prior, because in 2012, Steve Megatron and I did a little mini series on GeekCast Radio. GeekCast Radio is the flagship show of the GeekCast Radio Network, geekcastradio.com. We did the Death of the Family Batman New 52 issues 13 to 17. We covered those on GeekCast Radio as episodes. At the end of that run, Steve was like, okay, we can't have this permeate GeekCast Radio. We need to, if you want to cover comics, we need to put it somewhere. We need to do something with it. I was like, okay, sure. What do you want to do? You want to create a podcast? What are we doing with it? He said, well, let's think of stuff. Let's advertise stuff. Let's figure something out. So this is what I wrote up last year for the 12th anniversary on Facebook. And I'm going to read this verbatim. And yes, I'm reading from my phone. This is why I had my phone out on Facebook earlier. 13 years ago today, March 5th, 2013. Steve Phillips, VO, aka Steve Phillips, and I launched the Pull Bag, only on the GeekCast Radio Network. Thank you for all the arts and all the podcasts over the years and everything else in between, Steve. 13 years and 579 episodes later. Here we are. And I go on to say, here is episode 000 at the time, the introduction. 13 years ago, and neither of us knew which one of us was going to take the lead on this show. It turns out it was me, TFG1Mike, from the GeekCast Radio Network. My goals with the pull bag were always to not be predictable, to not be the same old podcast that covers The Dark Knight Returns just because. I have no issues towards the story or the art, but the legacy, like, oh my God, you're not a comic book podcast unless you cover it. Right. Uh-huh. And I still, to this day, don't think we've ever covered The Dark Knight Returns. Maybe one of these days. Thank you, Michael Powers, for coming up with the name of the podcast. So we went through names upon names upon names. Steve went through art upon art. At one point, it was going to be called The Pull List, because you go into the comic book shop and you have a pull list. And, you know, you tell them what you want and they pull it and they add it to your pull list. And that's the list you have. And you can always go in there and change it and everything else and whatever. You can take things off. You can add things to it and yada, yada, yada. So it was going to be called TPL at one point. Well, after doing massive amounts of research, and that's the other thing, folks, research your podcast name. check iTunes, Apple Podcasts, but iTunes, Apple Podcasts, whatever, same thing. Check Spotify, check YouTube, check Google, check everywhere on the internet that you can, and be sure to hydrate. Be sure that your podcast name is nothing like any other name out there. Also, be sure to trademark it, copyright it, whatever you need to do so that it is yours. So anyway, we couldn't use the pull list because it was too similar to another title. We were having trouble and we were just posting all over social media, hey, what's a good title for this comic podcast? We want it to sound cool. We want it to be this. We want it to be that. We want it to be an acronym. And our good buddy, Booth Ninja 81, aka Michael Powers, was like, what about the pull bag? The pull bag? Oh, yeah. Because you can jump inside the pull bag today. A light bulb went off in my head. And I literally, I've been 6'1" practically my entire adult life. I've been somewhere between 300 and almost 500 pounds my entire adult life. So I'm a bigger guy, obviously. I do count as obese, obviously. But literally, when he said the pull bag, what you just saw me do with jump inside the pull bag today, like I literally ran around my apartment in circles. I jumped up out of my chair when I read what he said, and I was like, huh. I was saying it over and over and over. I wrote out every single permutation of how I could say it on the podcast. So thank you so much, Michael Powers, for that. I wanted TPB to have a different edge to it. I wanted it to stay modern at the time in 2013, to discuss the comics we were reading at the time, whilst also allowing ourselves to dive deep into the past. I did this with back issue classics. Anything before the year 2000 was under back issue classics at the time. I also wanted an interview series. And I and others who helped me came up with, at the time, 25 questions about how our podcast guests got into and out of reading comic books. I called it Origins in Comic Reading. Folks, this is how GCRN Origins started. It started with the pull bag, with Origins in Comic Reading, and now in 2026 we have Origins in Comic Reading. We have all things Origins in all things Transformers. We have Origins everywhere. We have television Origins. We have podcast Origins. We have Toycast Origins. We have Origins all over the place with GCRN. It all started with the pull bag. To this day, that series is still going strong. And back in 2019, we rounded it up. We rounded up the questions to 30 instead of 25. We've covered our favorite characters. We've covered comics from DC, Marvel, IDW, Image, and more. Batman, Iron Man, Nightwing, Batgirl, Spider-Man, Superman, Transformers, Gem, TMNT, and so many more. 579 episodes is more than that. 579 episodes is more than that in actual comic issues. We used to go issue by issue. Then I started waiting for the trades. because I wanted the whole story all at once. Thank you to anyone who has ever listened to the show. To many friends, guests, and co-hosts. So many friends, guests, and co-hosts to thank. Jonathan Tadarian, Ryan Merkley, Joe Reed, Amy, aka Lady Rec, Hahi Prime, Beatles Diva, the Comic Concierge, Jeremy Fine, Kendra Hale, Jesse Raz, Benji Richards, Bethany Kessler, Ryan Drost of Star Joe's, Jonathan and Maggie Schaefer Hames, John M. Wilson, 1 in 1,000 comics. Whoa! You'll have to check that episode out, folks, and learn all about that one. Dave McElveny, Edward Hale, Carter Mann, Mike O'Sullivan, Kevin Thompson, Michael Bailey, Shag Matthews, Delvin Williams, Donovan Morgan Grant, Brad and Lisa from Comic Book Couples Counseling. That one time in 2018, I was live at Jay's Comics in Grayslake, Illinois. What an adventure that was. And so many more. Thank you to all of you for everything. And so many more to thank. But rest assured, you all are amazing. From listening to and being on the podcast and so much more. What a journey this has been. 579 episodes. Just 21 to go to reach 600. And oh boy, y'all will not believe I have the plan I have for 600. Some might already know of these plans. I've been plotting this since 2022. Remember, folks, to always make your great escape into comics. I can't thank everyone enough. Who's that? What's that? Hi. Oh, hi, Chaos. Sorry, didn't see you there. I was in the midst of reading my phone. I've now put my phone down, so now I'm paying attention to the audience. Sorry. Hi. Yeah. So yeah, 579 episodes. This is episode 580. I have moved the TMNT coverage that Joe Reed and I are going to do down the line. We'll get to it when we get to it. I want to get back into this podcast. It's been a year or so since I've been able to do anything with it, and I miss being able to do stuff with it. This episode is going to have a very special podcast art. Steve Megatron made me a template where I can pick my favorite 6 covers over the last 13 years of covering comics. So if you're listening to this on any of the podcatching clients you choose to use, Apple, Spotify, whatever it is, you will get that podcast art. Or if you're listening on geekcastradio.com, you'll get that podcast art. But yeah, I love comics. I love being able to read comics. For the last almost 3 years, even though I haven't been doing stuff with the pull bag, I've been doing stuff with my buddy Jesse and our other friend Ryan, the Uneven Flow. I mentioned Ryan Merkley earlier. Same guy, Ryan, the Uneven Flow Merkley. My buddy Jesse, Matrix Prime, and Ryan, we've been doing Jesse's podcast, Another Comic Review. We've been doing that almost 3 years this coming June, and we've been covering the entire Energon universe comics from Skybound, Image Comics / Skybound Entertainment. So it's all Transformers, G.I. Joe, Void Rivals. So I have been doing comic book podcasting. I just haven't been doing it here inside the pull bag because Joe Reed and I, another quote unquote claim to fame that the pull bag has, is that January 22nd, 2014, the pull bag published IDW Publishing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Volume 1. We published that podcast where Joe Reed and I reviewed that comic book trade paperback. And when Joe got me to read that, I opened it, and I come from the Ninja Turtles side of things where it's the cartoon, so it's the multicolor. It's the, oh, chaos. You put all my turtles over there on the table, and I have a giant wall of Transformers right here, so I can't easily reach them. So anyway, if you ever watched the 1987 cartoon, all the bandanas that they wear over their eyes, over their foreheads and stuff, they're multicolor. So Leonardo is blue, Donatello is purple, Raphael is red, Michelangelo is orange. In the original comic books that Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird created, all of the bandanas are red. So when Joe Reed suggested that I read this comic book from IDW Publishing in 2014, even though IDW had the license since 2011, when we got to the point of reading this in 2014, I got the trade paperbacks for volumes 1, 2, 3, and 4 to prepare for the podcast here for the pull bag. I read the first like 6 pages or whatever, the first page of the volume, a full stop, and I messaged my buddy Joe, and I'm like, dude, red bandanas, really? Full stop. That's all I said. He messages me back and says, dude, it's worth it. Keep going. I'm like, okay. But if you so much as and obviously that didn't come, this didn't come across through in text, and my sound effects didn't come across through in text. But and here we are, 2026. Well, we did cover, we did get to cover the Armageddon game opening moves last year. We're almost to the end of the original IDW Publishing TMNT run. We've covered almost everything in the main run. That main run ran from 2011 to 2025, 150 issues. But because between my arm surgery last year, God, I can't even see this. Between this surgery I had last August and between Joe's life stuff he's got going on, we've had to postpone the rest of the Turtles stuff. So I'm moving it around so that way the podcast can continue. That's the whole point of this whole story. So now that I've moved the Turtles stuff around and postponed it for later, I now have to create a whole new schedule between episode 581 to 600 because the plans for 600 to 690, well, let's just say they involve a certain DC Comics character where he might be a Gray Sun and he might be a Nightwing, and I don't know if they're gonna work because it's all it's gonna require a lot of time, love, and tenderness. Ugh, I can't just believe I made a Michael Bolton joke. Anyway, so, and Steve is gonna kill me if I do it, but oh well. As long as the artwork is different every time, it doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah, so 580 episodes, folks. We are here. This is the 580th episode for you people listening to the podcast. For you lovely people watching the live stream, thank you so much for watching it. I'm sorry the first 11 and a half minutes were boring as hell. But yeah, so that's I think that's gonna do it. No ad break this time for the podcast listeners. Usually I will put in an ad break when I'm doing my podcast editing. So you lovely video viewers, you are kind of getting a inside baseball look at how I'm publishing or how I'm doing the like normally I would just come on here and talk. But at the beginning of this, when I did start the podcast thing, I did do the whole, hey, I'm TFG1Mike and you're listening to blah, 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 blah. So there's that. To end the podcast portion of the video segment, I will say thank you for listening to The Pull Bag. You can reach us on all the social media stuff. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, and all that good stuff. Check us out. Be sure to visit geekcastradio.com for all your podcasting needs from me and my friends, and make your great escape into comics and read comics today. Thanks for listening as always, folks, and I will catch you next time. Wait, did my camera switch or did my face switch? I don't know what happened there. Anyway, hi, Chaos. How are you? I think I already said that, but I don't know if you're still lurking or if you're just bored out of your mind with listening to me rabble on about that stuff or. Oh boy. Now I need to move the microphone. I need to eat something. Anyway. Where is. Okay, well, I think that's going to do it, folks. Man, I should really stop the recording on the Audacity thing, shouldn't I? Yep. Wow, that was only 30 minutes. Good Lord, and 11 minutes of it I'm cutting. Oh boy. All right. That's crazy. Okay, folks, let's see here. Let's see. I know it. All right, folks. I think that's going to do it. I was going to show you my process of cutting down the Audacity file, but I'm sure y'all have seen that already. I don't think y'all need to see that. Everybody knows how to podcast edit, right? Right? I mean, y'all don't need that. I think that's going to do it. No ad break. Lovely, 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 lovely. La 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 la. All right, there we go. Okay, what's the last bit? All right, there we go. That's it. So that's the ending. What's the beginning? Oh, well, that's clearly marked down and whatever. That's not bad. Podcast audio files. Where is TPB? If I could see anything. Of course, then again, I am legally blind. 580. TPB. 580. Needs edits? Question mark? Needs edits? Question mark. There we go. All right, folks. Well, that's going to do it for this live video. Hope everyone has enjoyed it. Hope it wasn't too boring for everybody. Hope, I don't know. Hope everyone has an excellent day, evening, afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, whatever good stuff. All the good stuff for everybody. And yeah, I don't know when the next live video will be. I have no current plans to do another live video in the immediate future. But yeah, more Tucker videos will be coming. I do have more other Funko type videos coming, hopefully, once I can actually start filming. Thank you to Chaos for showing up and waving some jazz hands. I think that's what that is. So thank you for that. And I will catch everyone later. Where is that button? They got to fix that. They got to put those damn buttons down at the bottom. Having them up at the top right is stupid. Put the damn things down there. End stream, share, and all of that should be down here next to.